Well, welcome back. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the Commentary Zone. And this is TCZ News Weekend Edition. We came across a really juicy story on the Daily Beast, and it'll be added down below in our description of this video. And this week was a rough week on Bravo, don't you think, Jamal? On our two housewife shows.
Yeah, it wasn't their finest hour.
Yeah, and what we're referencing is the how they handled race and how they're integrating people of color into two of their franchises, The Real Housewives of New York and The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, where we had some heated discussions on a touchy subject matter.
And we can't forget Dallas in this situation as well.
Oh yes, the Real Housewives of Dallas. How their season ended off with their reunion and the aftermath of that reunion with Tiffany Moon and what's her name? Kameron Westbrook?
Westcott.
Westcott. Yeah, that's they're batting 0 for 3 for me, if that's correct terminology.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, this is the article that we found, and the title of the article is The Real Housewives is turning racism into reality TV spectacle. And what were your thoughts on this, Jamal?
For me, what it is that they're just not handling it appropriately, and I think, in my opinion, it caught them off guard, and they weren't prepared. So I think that's where it's coming from the most, because I think they thought they could really just integrate different races with no consequence or no conflict or no real racial conflict, if I'll use that term.
But why would they think that, especially at the time we're in now, where last year was one of the most active times since the 60s for equal rights, you know? I don't get it. The Black Lives Movement last year was key and pivotal for a lot of people who were just sweeping this under the rug. How did Bravo think that they could just put a person of color here, put a person of color there, and think that there was not going to be any friction?
Because they look at these women as professionals and wealthy, and they really, I really think they feel like, well, these women are professionals. They have careers and businesses outside this. They wouldn't dare act a fool, and that's not the case. Or they wouldn't. They for some reason they think they're immune to racial issues, and I don't understand how they got to that point if that's where they were going. For example, you know, take Dallas with Tiffany Moon. I think they felt like Tiffany, yes, she's Asian, but she's accomplished. Like, she's rich. Her husband's rich. His family's rich. Like, this won't come up because due to her money, she'll fit right in, and that would automatically make the cast completely like, oh, she's just one of us, and not everyone was raised that way.
Wow. Well, what happened with okay, so on Tuesday night it was New York. What happened with Ebony and the Countess and Ramona?
That is just where I really feel that, I think for me, it's not just race. I think there's classism mixed in with the race, because the way I took this was Luann's biases coming out in a way that she didn't expect. I think since she had never been put in this situation, she didn't have fail safes in place for her. Like, has she been around different cultures of Ebony's ilk, like off camera, she would have known how to deal with it on camera. Because when you're around people, when you put yourself in situations where you're around different races, different cultures, you know how to move and what to say and what not to say, especially on TV. Since this lets us know, like, you know what, you probably don't hang with people of color outside out in your real life. Your natural biases came to the forefront, and it came out, and you had no way to stop it.
Wow. Okay. So then what happened on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills on Wednesday night?
This one I struggle with a little bit because we really don't know Sutton.
But when are we okay? Because there's two. One that was peaceful, Garcelle and Kyle. And then we had the Sutton Crystal exchange, which kind of went off the rails.
So with the issue with Garcelle and Kyle, they had months to sit on it, think about it, and then come back with fresh minds, cooler heads. So, and Garcelle spoke it very well. Garcelle wasn't attacking. She wasn't antagonistic. She was just telling Kyle, this is the way it is. And she did it in such a way where Kyle could sit back and take it in and be like, oh, okay, I get it. And they were it was a mutual discussion. Now, you take it to Sutton and Crystal. What happened was Crystal was trying to give her perspective, and Sutton tried to shut her down. And that tends to happen when people of color try to give their perspective to some Caucasian people. And we've seen it through history of the silencing. So Crystal took offense, rightly so, and then Sutton really got defensive. So when you have one person who's defensive and another person who gets really defensive, it's gonna go wrong.
Okay. And when you say Sutton tried to shut down Crystal, do you think Sutton was open to hearing what Crystal had to say? Or do you think the shutting down is just a defense mechanism so that you can avoid it at all costs?
I lean defense mechanism because Sutton doesn't appear to be comfortable speaking about things in terms of race. It seems to bother her a lot. And I have a feeling that she's afraid to speak her opinion because she may get jumped on because her opinion may be a little bit different than someone else's. So her defense is like, I just don't want to deal with it. Let's not talk about it. It's inappropriate. Well, no, race exists. So conversations about race need to exist. Just because you're uncomfortable doesn't matter. You only grow when you put yourself in uncomfortable positions and in uncomfortable conversations. That's where real change and real growth happens. So she may not have had to grow and change in social settings because the way she's acting is that she doesn't have a lot of people of color as friends in her real friend group. But it's interesting that she and Garcelle have become close over the past year. So she has the capability to, be friends with people of color. So when I put that with the situation, I wonder if it was Crystal's tone she took issue with because she felt Crystal was going down the road of accusing her of being racist. So this is just me trying to take it all in. If I'm being completely honest, I have to give Sutton a little bit of a doubt. What she did was wrong. I have a feeling she assumed Crystal was going down that path and wanted to shut it down before Crystal said it on camera. But I don't think Crystal was going down that road. I think Crystal was talking in terms of in general. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll never know because she got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The key word here is conversations. And you can't have conversations. You can't figure out other people's point of views. You can't gain an understanding of what others are living through or empathize with them if you don't listen. It's just
Exactly.
weird.
Listening is so key.
Yeah. This week has been hard for me on Bravo. It really has been. And it's also been hard for Ebony K. Williams because she's removed herself from social media because of this for a couple of weeks. I am going to give New York the benefit of the doubt and watch next week to see the rest of this whole debacle. And Beverly Hills, I'm hoping Sutton can get her act together.
Yeah. I'm hoping that she jumped the gun and became defensive for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Bravo, do better. But this also shows that they shouldn't have waited 15 years to integrate some of these casts.
Agreed.
Well, any final thoughts?
No, this has been good.
Okay. Well, guys, let us know what you think about this subject. I know a lot of us watch Bravo, and it's supposed to be especially the Housewives, supposed to be a really great escape for us. But these are really important topics to bring up because a huge part of their viewing audiences are people of color. This impacts all of us. Let us know your comments below. Give us a thumbs up if you like this particular video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And most importantly, tell a friend. We'd love to share. We'd love to talk. We'd love to hear what you think about this. Until next time, Jamal.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye.